It can affect how we think, feel and behave, and at its worst can be totally disabling. Depression is all too real for many people, but few talk about it. Tonight on FYI's Headspace, one young woman has opened up about her experience. Here's Ruth's story.
There are feelings that Ruth O'Doherty finds hard to put into words.
It's like complete emptiness, but then at the same time you're feeling like just so much. So it's really hard to describe. You just feel like there's just nothing, absolutely nothing in the world to keep you here.
It's thought that 1 in 5 people in Ireland will develop depression. Ruth's began when she was just 11, triggered when she failed her 11+ exams, which would determine the school she attended.
My sister, I think she was kind of the first person to realise that, like, how bad I was feeling before I did. So I do remember her coming into my room and would just find me bawling my eyes out. And she was like, "Ruth, I think you're depressed, And I was like, "No, I'm not. I didn't have a clue like what you were meant to feel. I thought you were meant to feel like depression was just suicidal, and I wasn't at that point.
But by the age of 12, Ruth had started self-harming, and there were other signs.
And first of all, it just started out with like just scratching myself, things like that, and then everything else came into it. I felt absolutely exhausted, but then I couldn't sleep. Whenever I would eat, sometimes I couldn't stop, and other times, like, even feeling food in my mouth, I would just have to spit it out because it was just so horrible. It was just bizarre, just all these things just kept happening.
The symptoms of depression can include feeling hopeless or helpless, losing interest in activities, a lack of energy, changes in sleeping and eating patterns, and crying a lot or feeling agitated.
We look at problem behaviours and people can be labelled, I suppose, as just being a difficult young person. They have behavioural problems, when in actual fact their behavioural problems may be caused by the likes of their depression or their anxiety or their panic disorder. So it's really important that young people are aware of these illnesses that are there. They can recognise the signs and symptoms, and most importantly, to go and get appropriate help for that particular problem.
In Ruth's case, a day that began with a shopping trip to town with her mum and sister nearly ended in tragedy.
There were these girls and I saw them with, like other friends and just looked really happy, and I was just like, I'm never going to have that. So then I went home, and then my mum and sister went out for a while, my brother and my dad were out. So then I just took loads of pills and just tried to overdose because I was just like, that's never going to happen for me.
Women are most likely to deliberately self-harm, although the number of young men doing it is on the rise. 9,473 people were hospitalised after deliberately self-harming in 2009. 53% were female compared to 47% male, and almost half were under the age of 30. Ruth, who's now 19, says the biggest misconception is that everyone gets over depression. She knows it's something that she's living with.
I still have to believe in some way that things 10 years from now, I won't be still feeling like this. I have to believe it, because I never used to. But if you're not going to believe it, then what else have you got?
It's not easy talking about it, but Ruth says there's no reason why people shouldn't speak up.
Well, why shouldn't I? If everyone's feeling it, well, if so many people are feeling it, why? What's wrong with someone actually coming out and speaking about it? People talk about diabetes, breast cancer, child abuse. Why not about this?
And if you've been affected by any of the issues in that story, here's some websites that might help. For lots of advice on depression, check out aware.ie and mentalhealthireland.ie. We've also created a special FYI Headspace section on our own website. There you'll find fact sheets on depression. So to find some headspace of your own, head along to tv3.ie/3e/FYI.